I remember the smell first, vanilla frosting, burnt sugar, the kind of sweetness that sticks to the back of your throat and won't let go. Someone dimmed the lights. Someone clapped too early. My mother smiled like she'd practiced it in the mirror, lips tight, eyes searching for approval. The cake came out, candles leaning, letters piped in red. Oops, still a disappointment. They laughed. Not all of them. Enough. I didn't. I looked at the cake, then at my mother, then around the table, my aunt hiding her mouth behind a napkin, my cousin filming because humiliation is content now, my uncle already shifting in his chair like he could feel the floor tilt. I stood, calmly, took my bag from the back of the chair, no trembling, no drama, just the quiet click of a decision locking into place. My uncle reached for my arm. "Hey, don't." I leaned in, close enough for only him to hear. "Tell her she got the date wrong," I said. "This isn't my birthday. It's the anniversary." His hand fell away. I walked out before anyone could ask which anniversary I meant. I used to believe family was gravity, that no matter how far you drifted, something would pull you back. That belief lasted until I learned gravity can also crush. When I was younger, my mother loved telling people how hard she tried, how much she sacrificed, how she stayed. She told it like a sermon, always with herself as the martyr, always with me as the footnote, still figuring him out, still hoping he turns out right. I learned early to be quiet, to be useful, to succeed just enough to be impressive, but not enough to threaten. Praise in our house was rationed, disappointment was abundant and public. The jokes started small, family dinners, "He's smart, but..." Birthdays, "Another year still single." Holidays, "Maybe next year you'll make us proud." They said it smiling, that was the trick, and I let it happen, for years, because hope is addictive, and I was convinced that if I just did enough, one day the jokes would stop. They didn't. They escalated. The night of the cake wasn't spontaneous. It never is. Humiliation like that requires planning. I knew something was off when my cousin texted earlier, "Wear something nice, big night." My mother hadn't called all week, which meant she was either furious or preparing a performance. The restaurant was her choice, public, bright, witnesses. When the cake came out, when the words registered, I felt a strange stillness, like my mind had stepped back to watch my body from a distance. This wasn't a joke, this was a verdict, and everyone at that table had voted. I didn't cry on the drive home. I didn't scream. I didn't even change out of my clothes. I opened my laptop. You don't plan revenge when you're angry. You plan it when you're clear. I pulled up documents I'd saved years ago and never thought I'd need. Bank statements, email threads, voice notes. The boring stuff people forget matters. Because here's what they never noticed about me. While they were busy measuring me against their expectations, I was watching, learning, tracking patterns. My family's favorite mistake was assuming my silence meant ignorance. It didn't. It meant inventory. My mother liked control. She liked telling people she handled the finances because no one else could be trusted. She liked saying my father was irresponsible, that his arrangement with her was the only reason we stayed afloat. That arrangement had a name. It was called fraud. Not the dramatic kind, the slow domestic kind. Small transfers, shared accounts, a trust fund meant for me that she managed until I matured. Maturity, in her definition, was a moving target. 2 years earlier, I'd asked for transparency. She laughed. "Why? You don't need to worry about grown-up things." I worried anyway. I asked questions, quiet ones. I learned that signatures could be traced, that emails don't really disappear, that trusts have rules even mothers can't bend forever. I learned that jokes leave trails. By morning, I had a list, not of punishments, of steps. First, I sent one email, polite, Precise, to the trustee my mother had never bothered to introduce me to. I attached documents, asked for a review. Second, I scheduled a consultation, not to threaten, to understand. The lawyer listened more than he spoke. When he finally nodded, it felt like the ground leveling. Third, I did nothing. Nothing scares manipulators like silence. My uncle called that afternoon, the same one who'd tried to stop me. She didn't mean it like that, he said. I know exactly how she meant it, I replied. She's your mother. That's not a defense, I said. It's a responsibility. He sighed. Can we talk? We are talking. No, I mean, can you come over? No. I hung up before he could bargain. The panic started 2 days later. It always starts with whispers. A message from my cousin, no emojis this time. Is everything okay? Mom says there's a problem with the accounts. An email from my aunt, subject line, urgent. A missed call from my mother, then 3, then 8. I let them stack up like evidence. When I finally answered, her voice was sugar-free. What did you do? She asked. I stood up, I said. Then I left. This isn't funny. It wasn't meant to be. She lowered her voice. They're asking questions. They should. You embarrassed me. I laughed then, once, quiet. No, I said. You did. They called a family meeting, emergency, same restaurant, same table, different energy. This time, no cake. I arrived last, not to be dramatic, to observe. My mother looked smaller, my aunt avoided my eyes. My uncle cleared his throat like it could save him. We sat. No one spoke. I broke the silence because it was mine to break. I know about the trust, I said. I know about the transfers. I know about the way you framed it, as concern, as management, as love. My mother reached for her water, missed the glass. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, I said. You thought I'd never check. You thought I'd never question. You thought jokes were enough to keep me small. Her mouth opened, closed. I'm not here to threaten you, I continued. I'm here to inform you. I slid a folder across the table. No theatrics, just paper. The review is underway. The trustee is involved. The lawyer is bored, which is bad news for you. My uncle finally spoke. What do you want? I looked at him, really looked. Respect, I said, and my name off your mouths. My mother laughed, sharp and brittle. You think this makes you powerful? No, I said. It makes me finished. They tried damage control, apologies wrapped in excuses, tears that arrived on cue. I didn't interrupt. When my mother finally asked what would make this go away, I gave her the truth. Nothing, I said, but here's what will make it end. I outlined it calmly, the conditions, the separation of finances, the acknowledgement in writing. No jokes, no commentary, no stories told about me without me present. And one more thing, I added. She leaned in. You're not invited to my birthdays anymore. Silence landed heavy. You don't get access to me, I said. That was a privilege. You spent it. The trustee froze the accounts pending review. The lawyer drafted letters. The family group chat went dark. My cousin deleted the video. I didn't ask him to. The power of consequences is that they don't require reminders. Weeks later, my uncle stopped me outside my apartment. She's not sleeping, he said. She's scared. I nodded. Good. That's cold. No, I said. It's accurate. He studied me. You planned this. Yes. For how long? I thought of the jokes, the dinners, the cake. Long enough, I said. I didn't win a fortune. I didn't destroy anyone. I didn't raise my voice. What I took back was quieter and more valuable. My narrative. The last time I saw my mother, she tried one final move. Soft voice, regret on tap. I was just trying to motivate you, she said. I met her eyes. Motivation doesn't need an audience. She had nothing after that. Neither did I. And that was the point. I don't celebrate birthdays with people who laugh at my existence. I celebrate with those who never needed me to be smaller so they could feel big. The cake taught me something. Not that I was a disappointment, but walking away calmly is the most devastating punch you can throw, and it never leaves a bruise.